Hey Wastelanders, let's look at the Kansept Convict today. So, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Gary, the Last Ranger, aka the Last Ranger. Well, I got this out just because I wanted to wipe the blade down. So, I've not carried it a lot. I've carried it very little because even though I got this knife and I initially did the unboxing and shared it with you guys, it's okay. I like it. I like the knife, but I don't love it. After carrying it a little bit, I'm not normally in love with a sheep's foot style blade. I like more of a little bit, not extreme pointy, but I like a pointy blade. I don't think I have many sheep's foot knives in my collection, if any. I think I have a few older ones that predate the channel. And I don't think I have ever shown them on the channel because they're like cheap CRKT knives. But normally I don't like sheep's foot blades. I know some people do, a lot of people do, but I'm not one of those. So again, I'm gonna not make this review long. I'm gonna get rid of this knife and pass it down the road. I've been sitting on it, and it's time to go. This knife is, it's okay. It's not, I'm not in love with it. I'm not in love with this carbon fiber. It's kind of, I don't know what you call it. I call it basket weave micarta, but I looked it up on their website, and they are saying it's textured. It's not textured at all. I mean, if it's textured looking, but it's not textured. It's, if you want to complain about aluminum all the time, like people complain about aluminum, this knife is as slick or slicker than aluminum. So this is this is a 154 cm steel, I believe. So this is not the, it's not the powder version. Someone brought it to my attention that he designed a couple knives I've heard of, but I don't own them. It's Chris Conway of Sheepdog Knives. He designed the Sheepdog. Everybody likes the, the Sheepdog XL, and he's also designed some knives called the Detent. And I'm not familiar with that one. I've never owned that one. And he has a knife called the Kaiser Sparrow. Again, I'm not familiar with that one either. So I'm familiar with the mini sheepdog and the larger sheepdog, but again, I've never owned one and I never held one. So that's, that's my mistake by not recognizing the sheepdog name. Sheepdog Knives maker's mark on the blade. So, yeah. I don't know what to talk about because this is not a knife that I would probably ever buy. This knife comes in how many flavors? So this knife comes in 13 flavors. This kind of knife comes in like titanium body, all the way up to $207. There's like a black titanium, a blue titanium, what do you call it? Satin steel titanium. It also comes in a G10. This carbon fiber here, micarta, all of the great flavors. For some reason, it also comes with a non-hole version with a thumb stud. I remember seeing a thumb stud version on maybe a jade version of this knife. I think, but I thought, oh no, it was a jade version. It was like a green version titanium, but it had a thumb stud. Yeah, yeah. I thought it was a jade, but it was green titanium. So I like the how you have to flip it out with your thumb or your finger. I'm going to say I think a thumb stud version would be okay, but I think they got it right by attaching this hole and treating it like a flipper, Spidey flicker. Anyway, so I don't want to know what to say about this knife. I've experienced it. I've carried it a little bit. I like the pocket clip. I've pretty much covered in the unboxing what I like about the knife. As I said, I probably wouldn't buy this knife ever. It's not my kind of knife. It's, you know, I don't really like sheep's foot style blades. It's kind of a worker knife. You know, it's not a multi-purpose knife. If you're wanting to defend yourself, you could certainly defend yourself with this knife. But this would not be the first knife I would think of to defend myself. So let's show you a comparison to a knife that I probably would defend myself with. Let's see a comparison size-wise. You can see this is the Yin. Very much similar blade, but really much longer handle, much more to grip onto. This knife, because as well as opening it and has a hidden flipper, I like to throw this knife. This knife is decently balanced. I got it to stick in the tree or the table or the ground 75% of the time. I tossed it. I don't know if I should be tossing this knife, but it seems like it has a blade that can handle it. So let's talk about this knife, not this knife, which I like. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of it. Do you guys like this knife? I mean, would you buy this knife in any of those 13 flavors? This is probably the budget version. I want to say this is probably $95. I think they have a lower price one, a G10 version that comes in blue. You can get it for $80, but for the most part, if I was to buy this one, I would probably select that version I found in micarta. It was kind of like a brown micarta. It had a black blade, and that was at $92. For $92, I can find a knife that I would probably want to carry much more than, you know, this style knife. Again, it's not a bad knife. It's just not a sheep's foot design. It's just not a knife for me. It's not a bad knife. You know, like I've reviewed like a lot of Kansepts. Well, not a lot. I've reviewed 3 Kansepts this year, maybe 3 or 4, and by far this is probably one of my favorite Kansepts that I've come across my table. So other than this carbon fiber, this is a sweet design. It's just, I like how the liners are hidden. I like how you don't need jimping on this liner to release the knife. It's a good detent. Great lockup. It's probably 20% lockup, 30, but that's enough for me. Very straight in there, very centered. I I shouldn't shit all over this knife because it's a decent knife. It's just I think this carbon fiber is clouding my head. I really hate this carbon fiber. So if it had just a nice micarta, and they did it doesn't have a nice micarta if you got the get the brown one. This would seal it for me. Alright guys, I'm going to let you go. Sorry for the piss poor review. And I just wasn't feeling this knife. Take care, Wastelanders.